What's going on, y'all? My name is Jolters, and today, bringing you the final SPL game of Week 6, LC game of Week 6, between Mambo of the Wolfpack and Blarajan of the Sharks. Yeah, sorry I couldn't get this to you live. I was exhausted. They played kind of late, and but bringing it to you now, procrastinating doing homework because, God, I really don't want to do homework. But anyway, headed into this week, we had both players. We had headed into this week. We had Blarajan coming in at 2-3, and Mambo coming in at 2-2. Wait, 3-1 because he did not play last week. Yeah. Looking at the teams, we've got double ghost from Mambo, which is different. You don't normally see that. Probably rocks from either Diglett or Poniard. Could be CM Spritz, maybe not. I don't know. Looks pretty just I mean, looks kind of standardy, bulky offense. Probably isn't, though, knowing Mambo. There is likely to be some innovation going on here somewhere. Over on Blarajan's team, we've got Torch Pass. Well, potential Torch Passes. It could also be Life Orb Torch. You got Drober, Poniard. Drober could be carrying rocks, though Pon could as well. Pumpkaboo. And then Snubble and Krogunk form the fighting type checks of the team. Yeah, I don't know. I like the look of Blarajan's team a lot, actually. But we'll see how this goes. Let's hop right into it. Alright, so turn 1, we've got lead Drifloon as Blara leads Drober. So that's a losing exchange for Blara, who's going to go out to his Torchic on the Will-O-Wisp, which missed, but it doesn't matter because, it's a fire type. Now, Drifloon goes right for the Acrobatics, which doesn't do anything to this Torchic. It wasn't a powered-up Acrobatics, so that's left to be... I mean, that's kind of reasonable. But, yeah, Torchic's going to set up a couple curses as Floon substitutes on it. Now Mambo doesn't want to deal with this Torchic. I mean, doesn't want to have Floon in because it just kind of lets Torchic set up for days. Torchic goes for the Protect on the switch out into Staryu, and then is going to Protect again to gain another speed boost. Who Blara could be passing this. He could pass it to Pumpkaboo or Krogunk, but he decides to go Pumpkaboo. Krogunk won't be able to take out Staryu in one hit, and the potential for Psychic is very high. But Pumpkaboo doesn't get burned by the Scald on the switch in, and is able to fire off a +2 Bullet Seed, which isn't going to do very much to the Drifloon at all, but it is going to be able to knock it back to full through the Berry Juice. Shadow Sneak's going to do 71% to the Drifloon next turn, and as Pumpkaboo gets burned by the Will-O-Wisp. But Shadow Sneak will be able to take out the Drifloon the next turn. In comes Spritzy to deal with the burned Pumpkaboo, who's going to catch a burn itself. As it throws up a Wish. Pumpkaboo is going to Synthesis up to try and gain some health, as Spritzy is going to go for the Moonblast and drop Pumpkaboo's Spatak. Not that that matters at all. Pumpkaboo ended up not gaining a whole lot of HP there. But now Blara is going to go out to Torchic, and his Spatak is going to be dropped again, as Mambo's going to go out to Diglett to try and trap this Torchic. Well, no, Torchic had Baton Pass, but, as Torchic Baton passes out into Snubble, Snubble's going to go for the Heal Bell, which is going to cure Blara's Pumpkaboo of that burn. He's going to fire off a Play Rough, which isn't going to do much at all to the Spritzy, as Spritzy throws up a Wish. Now Blara's going to switch out into his Torchic again on Mambo, as Mambo switches out to Ghastly. Ghastly is going to go for the substitute on Torchic's Protect, which ends up working out for Mambo, as Torchic's just going to pass this +1 speed to his Drober, as Ghastly's going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, predicting the switch, which is cool on Mambo's part. Now Drober's burned, though an Earthquake would still hurt Ghastly. So Drober does go for the Earthquake, and it does a decent amount to the Staryu. But not through the burn, I guess it is. But yeah. Anyway, Staryu's going to click Scald and not burn the Pumpkaboo again, as Pumpkaboo is going to synthesis up as Mambo switches in his Pawniard. Mambo's going to go. Pawn's going to go for the knockoff on the Pumpkaboo, and Pumpkaboo's going to live because Pumpkaboo's bulky as fuck, and be able to wisp the pawn there. Now Blar is going to go out to his Drober on the knockoff next turn, as Drober's going to go for Earthquake as Pawniard decides to set up rocks for Mambo. Now Pawn's going to go for the Sucker Punch and take out the Drober on the next turn. In comes Torchic for Blara, who is, as Diglett comes in, and Torchic's going to go for the Curse here. And Diglett's going to be able to take out the Torchic with the Earthquake the next turn. Surprised Blara didn't go for the Protect there, but it is what it is. Anyway, in comes Snubbull. It's going to force out the Diglett, and Snubble's going to fire off a Play Rough. Going to get a crit, but the crit didn't on the Spritzy, but the crit didn't matter as the burn would have taken it out afterwards. In comes Ghastly. It's going to threaten out Snubbull, as it's going to go for the Sludge Bomb on the incoming Pumpkaboo. Pumpkaboo's Frisks revealed the Ghastly to be Life Orb, as did the Sludge Bomb, doing Life Orb damage. But Sub-Wisp, so probably Dual Stab as well. But Ghastly's going to burn the Pawniard and still die to that knockoff. As in comes Staryu, who's going to fire off a Scald on the Pawniard, who's going to knock it off. Blar is going to go out to Snubbull as Staryu recovers. Blar is we've only seen the Staryu going for Scald. Oh, actually, we've only seen the Staryu going for Scald so far. Anyway, Snubbull is able to heal Bell, but we've only seen the Snubbull go for Scald so far. So Blar decides it's safe enough to bring his Krogunk in. Here he's going to scout for the Psychic by doubling out to his Pawniard, but as Mambo didn't go for the Psychic right there, it's pretty clear that this Staryu does not have Psychic. Here Blar is gonna set up his rocks on the pawn, and as who's gonna go down to burn, as in comes Staryu, who's gonna just miss out on the KO of the Pawniard, who's gonna be able to just knock off as Mambo tries to recover stall it. Mambo is gaining back like 1 or 2 HP each turn, or just 1 HP each turn with this knockoff stalling. But yeah, got a couple turns of that so far. And that's, yeah, it looks like Blar's just gonna keep clicking knockoff until Mambo decides to kill his Pawniard, which he does there with the Rapid Spin. In comes Krogunk, who we now know is a pretty solid answer to the Staryu, as it definitely doesn't have Psychic, or he would have gone for it at some other point earlier in the match. But Krogunk's going to keep clicking Drain Punch. Staryu is technically gaining back an HP, but he's running low on recovers. Krogunk's going to crit the Drain Punch there, but Staryu is still going to be able to technically recover off damage unless he was crit again there, but he's not. Staryu's gaining 1 or 2 HP each turn, but he doesn't have an unlimited amount of recovers, so this is kind of just a pointless stall on Mambo's part, IMO. But yeah, Krogunk's just going to keep clicking Drain Punch, and it's going to crit him again, but again, it doesn't matter much. Staryu's still click and recover. We don't get the amount of things, but he may have ran out of recovers or just determine that, yeah, that was pointless and a waste of however many turns that went on for. But yeah, Krogunk is going to be able to Sucker Punch the Diglett on the Earthquake, and Snubbull should be able to take this game. Well, will be able to take this game, as it's going to live the Earthquake from Diglett and go for the Fire Punch to get the kill. As Blara's going to improve to 3-3 on the season, Mambo's going to fall to 3-2. According to the chat, Mambo was Scarf Diglett, which is interesting. I mean, it traps like Scarf Mag, I guess, and Torchic, and outspeeds like some Shell Smashers after some stuff. But, you know, that's still weird. Yeah. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed, please feel free to leave a like and comment with any feedback you may have. Stay subscribed for more competitive LC content, including every single LC game this SPL. My name is Joltich, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.